Although Liu Yutong was moved, it was impossible for her to agree to be Ling Han's maid. She slightly parted her red lips and said, "Change the conditions." Ling Han smiled slightly and said, "You are now at the peak of the 8th level of the gathering. Yuan. I will give you 2 mantras as my sincerity. 3 yin gathering Yuan. Dao Shen 2, 3 flowers gathering peak. Breaking the Ling Shao." At first, Liu Yutong didn't pay much attention. This guy was only at the 2nd level of the body refining realm. 80% of the time, he was just pretending to be a hidden person. But when she heard these 2 mantras, her Yuan power immediately stirred, as if the door to the 9th level of the gathering Yuan was opening. Her expression couldn't help but change, although she knew that she would definitely be able to break through to the 9th level of the gathering origin realm. But this time would be after a month. But right now, she had a strong feeling that it would only take 1 day. No, even right now she could go into seclusion and make a breakthrough. This is too exaggerated. It's just 2 mantras. These are the 2 general rules of the 3 yin mysterious art. How about it? Ling Han smiled, and next, he raised his voice. "Be my guard. I will teach you supreme divine arts." Phut! The 4 Ling Zhongquan people all spat out, unable to hold back their laughter. Isn't it? Is there something even more ridiculous? Just a useless person actually wants to take the genius of the Tiger Yang Academy as a guard, and also says that he wants to pass on supreme divine arts? This buffalo skin is blowing the sky. Stupidly overestimating one's own strength, it's truly laughable. A few maidservants also covered their small mouths. They naturally knew Ling Han's background. Just looking at Ling Zhongquan and the others' attitude towards Liu Yutong, they knew how noble this girl's status was. Liu Yutong's expression was cold, her figure swept out, already walking in front of Ling Han. Her right hand became a claw, grabbing his neck. She coldly said, "Say the 3 yin mysterious art, otherwise I will kill you." Ling Han dared to say conditions to the other party. Naturally, he had to expect that the other party would have such a reaction. He only smiled and said, "Kill, not long from now. I can see you on the Yellow Springs Road. Become companions." Liu Yutong's hand tightened even more. Don't look at her 5 fingers like jade. But now they were like iron claws, grabbing Ling Han until he couldn't breathe. Very quickly, his face turned red. His eyes appeared bloodshot. His limbs couldn't help but twitch. Ling Zhongquan's 4 people didn't intend to interfere, wishing that Liu Yutong would kill Ling Han. Say it or not. Liu Yutong loosened her grip a little. Ling Han forcefully smiled, but firmly shook his head. Right now, the Ling family is extremely dangerous for him. He must have a powerful bodyguard. Absolutely not any conditions Liu Yutong promises him. Only this noble lady can protect him personally. What he lacks most right now is time, as long as he grows up. But what does the Ling family count for? Liu Yutong exerted more force. Ling Han's body began to convulse violently, then suddenly stopped, her limbs no longer moving. So stubborn. Liu Yutong sighed. The original force poured out, activating Ling Han's heartbeat. Ho, a sound. Ling Han opened his eyes, breathing gulp by gulp. 3 years. Liu Yutong said. At most 3 years, these 3 years, I can listen to your orders. In 3 years, she will be 20 years old. If she doesn't sleep without waking up, then she will be completely free. Poof, Ling Zhongquan and the other 4 spat out again. But this time it was with shock and confusion. Could it be that their ears had a problem? Why did they seem to hear Liu Yutong say she agreed? Agreed to be Ling Han's bodyguard? Be a subordinate to a useless person? This must be a mishearing, absolutely. Ling Han turned around, revealing a smile, raising his hand and saying, "A promise is made. 3 years, enough for him to grow up. At least he can surpass Ling Zhongquan and the others. No need to worry about his life being in danger." Bang! Liu Yutong also stretched out her hand, exchanging palms with him. This was a martial artist's agreement. So soft. At the moment of clapping hands with the other party, Ling Han's heart couldn't help but tremble. Although he was once a heavenly human realm expert, and even more so a grandmaster of alchemy, in his previous life he didn't know. How many peerless beauties had been infatuated with him? But now that he had merged his soul with his previous life, he seemed to have also turned into a young and excited person. The intense emotions were burning fiercely, making him feel like he had returned to the age of 16. Ling Han enjoyed such a change. This was the meaning of life. Miss Liu, don't listen to this little beast's nonsense. Let's talk about important matters. Ling Zhongquan interrupted. He didn't want Ling Han to continue to cause trouble. And that Zhong Yuan, what an idiot. He can't even look like a piece of trash. If he comes back, he'll be killed. Grand Deacon. Ling Han coldly looked over. This qualification to go to Tiger Yang Academy was what my father used his life to exchange for. Now my father is fighting in the Purple Light Valley. You shamelessly snatched this qualification. Don't you feel ashamed? How presumptuous. You dare to talk to this old man like this. Ling Zhongquan shouted loudly. Before, Liu Yutong didn't take this matter to heart. But just now she had an agreement with Ling Han. Her attitude naturally changed. She opened her mouth and said, Deacon Ling, what exactly is going on? I need a satisfactory answer. Ling Zhongquan could ignore Ling Han, but Liu Yutong could not. He was the representative of the Tiger Yang Academy. His strength was even greater than his. What right did he have to ignore Liu Yutong? He hurriedly said, The matter is like this. This person is the son of the Han family's patriarch Ling Dongxing. So Ling Dongxing acted selfishly, secretly giving him a standard. I only started from the big picture, to let this standard play its true role. Starting from the big picture? Ling Han laughed coldly. Ling Zhongquan, do you still have any shame? This standard was exchanged for by my father with his life. What does it have to do with the clan? Why do you bother? You just want to give this standard to your son too. In the future, his cultivation will surpass my father, thus helping you seize the position of clan master. Already a prostitute, yet wanting to build a shrine to chastity. Shameless, shameless to the extreme. Seeing Ling Han scold loudly, Ling Zhongquan was so angry that his whole body trembled, almost spitting out a mouthful of blood. Little beast, you are so bold, daring to insult this old man? Ling Zhongquan was furious, being pointed at the nose and scolded by a useless person again. If he did not severely punish Ling Han, he would definitely suffer internal injuries. Ling Han only smiled faintly, turned his head and said to Liu Yutong, I have absolutely no interest in entering Tiger Yang Academy. Let's skip this transaction. Let Tiger Yang Academy compensate with some spirit herbs instead. Can? Liu Yutong nodded, training a student with all his might. He also had to spend a large amount of spirit herbs. No. Ling Zhongquan immediately shouted loudly. This standard belongs to Mu Yun. None of you can snatch it away. Old dog, is there a problem with your ears? This is clearly the standard my father exchanged for. What does it have to do with you? Ling Han sneered, then looked towards Liu Yutong and said, Next is the first order I'll convey to you. He paused for a moment, then said, Restrict this old dog for me. I want to slap this shameless old man a few times. Liu Yutong only hesitated for a moment, then nodded and said, Okay. Ling Han had already expressed his sincerity, giving her 2 precious mantras. She should naturally show her sincerity as well. What? Liu Yutong really agreed to be Ling Han's bodyguard. The bodyguard sounded very high class. But in reality, it was just an attendant, a servant. The great genius of Tiger Yang Academy was willing to be someone else's bodyguard. How unbelievable was this? But the truth was like this. Liu Yutong had already stood up, her beautiful eyes staring at Ling Zhongquan. Her supple and soft body began to radiate fierce fighting spirit. Senior Sister Liu, you shouldn't be fooled by this brat. Ling Muyun was shouting from the side, her face filled with fear. How could she possibly accept that a woman as naturally intelligent as Liu Yutong was fooled by Ling Han's sweet words? Especially that peerless beauty was still the one he had been pursuing with all his might. But now she was like eating 10,000 flies, making him extremely frustrated. Are you going to give up and wait for me to make a move? Liu Yutong said slowly.